Good day, sir. I'm Engineman Rey Roven Facelo of Polaris 2A. So today I will be answering the questions from Module 7, Task 1. Statement number 1. Crisostomo Ibarra and the mysterious and powerful Elias are quite similar, even though the former is an immensely wealthy mestizo, while the latter is an impoverished fellow who have seen better days. Both have been a victim of the colonial system, yet have contrasting approaches on how to address the social ill that surrounds them. In one pivotal scene, two debated passionately about their respective views. Through an author were debating himself. So question number 1 for statement number 1. How do their experience shape this view? By making their experience as their base on how to face the invader who victimized them. Basically the user experience as the basis how to face the invaders that victimized them. So Elias and Ibarra, who would suffer from injustice on the hands of the authority, believes that they've seen the worst of the worst. So they choose to stay in the country and not to be coward, to fight for the freedom. Ibarra preferred to fight in a peaceful way, while Elias believed that violence was the only option on how to help the country to be free and to gain its sovereignty. Their experience were the basis on how to face the invaders. As what Ibarra said, he has seen horrible cancer drowning in a society. They now agreed to fight through violence, even though Elias warned Ibarra that the fight is futile. So question number 2 for statement number 1. What reform does Ibarra advocate? Ibarra preferred to have a social reform. This means that Ibarra advocates that moderate liberalism through a secular education. In addition to this, he believed that the power of education to enact reform and made efforts so he made an effort to establish a school in San Diego. He wanted to establish a school for Filipinos without connection from the friars to the church. So question number 3 for statement number 1. Why does Elias consider the fight futile? Elias believed that the violence was the only option on how to face or how to solve the country's problem and to gain its sovereignty. So it is considered futile by Elias for a reason that the main option was through violence. Because he had seen and experienced what the country had to offer, which then could really lead to nowhere, but most especially could start a war. Second statement. Maria Clara betrayed Ibarra even though she loves him. Her motive is to prevent the true identity of her biological father to be revealed. So question number 1 for statement number 2. Discuss the consequence of her act and how it leads to tragedy. Maria Clara discovered that Capitan Tiago isn't her real father, instead Padre Damaso, who impregnated her mother and died during childbirth. When Ibarra is put on trial after being framed by Padre Salve of subversive, Maria Clara is blackmailed into providing the court with letters Ibarra has sent. Her letter is persecuted and unfairly uses maleficence. Maria Clara does this in order to keep the secret. Maria Clara does this in order to keep the secret the fact that Damaso is her real father, and not to shame or disgrace her mother's name, as well as not to compromise Capitan Tiago's social standing. Still, she felt immersely remorse for having sold Ibarra. When the newspaper eventually falsely reported his death, she calls off her marriage with Linares, instead deciding to enter a covenant because she can't exist in a world that doesn't contain Ibarra. In Covenant, her miserable life started and eventually got crazy and died. So that's it. I am Facelo Rey Roven of Polaris 2A. Thank you, sir. Keep safe.